Hey, welcome back to the Motor City Connect training series. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the magic under this network button. You can see it's got member profiles, member objectives, and key connections. We're going to talk a little bit about member profiles and specifically your profile. I'm going to click member profiles to show you what happens. First and foremost, it doesn't go to your profile, it goes to all profiles. And you can see it's set up by, I can browse by most recently. So I can see who's on now, right? Online now. These 4 people are on right this second at noon on a Sunday. And who's been on recently. Or I have the ability to browse by name, browse by city, browse by gender, browse by company, or browse by title. So you can mess around with this and see what's going on and make it as specific as you'd like. Here's the other hint. A lot of people click this only profiles with photos. What that means to you is regardless of how great the content you write, if you don't have a picture on there, a lot of people are clicking this button, you're not showing up in their search. So regardless of how bad you think that photo is, look, it's only this big. Everybody looks good this big. We're all handsome, we're all beautiful, we're all looking great. So throw a photo up there and we'll talk a little bit about how to do that in a minute. Alright, so I can go through and take a look. I'm going to actually go to my profile right now and show you from a profile perspective what it could or should look like. Alright, so you see my name, you see the title, you see the company, you see my location as to where I live. If you wanted, you could send me a private message. If I were looking at somebody else's profile, I'd also have a button here where I could endorse them, which is kind of cool. Or send them a recommendation. We have 2 profiles here on Motor City Connect. We've got the professional profile and the social profile. Most people don't pay attention to the social profile. If you want to fill it out, you can. It just adds a couple of things like movies and music and books and a little more personal stuff, which is kind of fun. Opportunity for you to put your website in here, which I highly recommend, as well as your bio. When I get into edit mode, I'll show you the 2 different ways you can fill the bio out. Organizations and board affiliations, groups that you may be a part of. Here's the endorsements that people can write for you. Schools that you've attended, and then it shows you the recent activity, just like on the discussion page. Okay? Very, very fun. Now, I had at one point my Motor City Connect Q&A filled out, and I need to do that again. And you should do it too, because it's kind of fun. Alright, so let's talk about edit. Now, I can go in and edit any one of these things individually, or I can go into my settings under my profile and click that, and then the whole thing will be pulled up from an edit perspective. Again, here's that personal data that I can put in. My professional my professional photo. Right, here's how, if I want to edit my photo, I would click on photo. I can change it. I can change it to the list that I've got in here by clicking change, or I can add new photo. And just like other things, it's going to have me go and pull something out from my C drive and put it up there. So please feel free to do that. You definitely need to have a photo up there. I'm just going to close this out, and again, it does the same thing for the social photo over here. Here's your professional details, right, where it talks about your status, your company, what your title is, okay, status. There's a handful of things that you drop down under here. I'm an entrepreneur. You can choose what works best for you. Your company, what your title is, and when it was founded. Talks a little bit about your professional contact. Please, people, we're a networking site. Please take the time to fill out at least your phone number or an email address. Very frustrating to try and connect people and not have their contact information. It's just silly, right? So, and then here I click on my professional bio, and this will show me what my bio is. Here's the funny thing about the way this is set up. You've got it so you can go in and type and write freehand whatever you'd like, or you can use the auto-generated bio, where Group Sites, the site where Motor City Connect is hosted, and the platform it rides on actually does it for you. And you can see the difference. This top part up here, This is Terry writing. Terry's doing what he does and actually taking the time to write it out. This bottom top part is where Terry used the auto-generated file, so you can see the difference in how the language gets a little fun. All right, and then back to the general information. So please take a minute and fill that out. Certainly make sure you give us how we can help you, because again, at Motor City Connect, that's what we're all about. And if I want to go to customize my profile, we can actually change a couple of different things here. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that looks like, but if you've got time and energy, play around with it. Have fun. That's what social networking and social media is all about. Learning when we have the time to do so. On the personal side, I can add my interests and my personal contact. If you're tired of Motor City Connect and it's time to leave, here's where it is. Remove me from this group site. If you're involved in multiple group sites, it will only take you out of Motor City Connect. It will not change your status with others. So that's a little bit about your profile. In terms of preferences, your preferences are set up in terms of contact information and who can actually see your stuff. If you ever wanted to say, you know what, I'm tired of some of the emails that come out, you can get this, you can change this. You can change these. I don't want to subscribe to a discussion topic. You can do that on the topic itself, or you can do it in general. You can make sure that the conversations don't come out, all conversations don't come to you, so you can change that. And as far as the recent updates, these are the ones that are generated by the organization. You can change how often you get those too. Anywhere from daily to never, which is certainly your prerogative. So know that. It's always fun. Your endorsements, you get a chance to take a look at those, who's written them, and all that fun stuff. If you're ever so inclined, go get them, Tiger. It's also good to write some of them. Take the time to do that. You can share objectives. This is your personal objective. Again, as I mentioned, the discussion piece on the front page, when you add a personal objective, it shows up on the home page. So it's a great way to get some additional exposure and some additional recognition. Same thing with adding key connections. Key connections are people that you put in that you have a good relationship with. So it allows you to see other people's key connections, but it also allows other people to see yours, which is kind of cool. Weird. They all came back. They had been gone for a long time. They're still here. So, hey, I don't have to retype them. Here's the fun thing. Cavalier Communications, top management, and this is the strength of the relationship, medium. And what that means is they're not really showing any of the contacts, any of the information, right? It's just, you know, so you're not losing your connection there. You're just showing people the opportunity. All right, let's see. Who do I know? How is it possible that I can't think of anybody that I know? Stonebridge Financial. Individual's role, we'll call him top management. My strength of the relationship is strong. Communicate frequently. So safe. Alright, so that's how you add a key connection. And now I'll be able to see everybody who's got a key connection in there, which is kind of cool, and I'll be able to see theirs as well. Alright, so that's the piece of key connections. We talked a little bit about objectives, your endorsements, your preferences, and your profile. Make your profile engaging. Take some time, fill it out, be creative, have fun, add photos, do what you can, and do what you love. Thanks so much for taking part of this MCC training. Until next time, be connected.